Hey guys, so it's here bringing you another video and welcome to another Q&A. So we've been generally doing these every 2 to 3 weeks. Unfortunately, left it a bit longer this time. I think it may have been about a month, maybe the last episode. So apologies for that. I've just been very concentrated in getting obviously a lot of the LOL content out. And yeah, being pretty successful, I think, with it doing everything in my life right now. You know, things are crazy. So what I will say, and I've timed this Q&A quite well, I feel, that you'll probably see this in a few days, and by then I would have moved into my new place. Obviously moving out for the first time and all that, which is going to be really good. And full disclosure, I'm moving out. Yeah, sure, adult independence and that, but I'm mainly moving out to help my job, to help YouTube and Twitch. And if I'm honest, mainly Twitch. I want to stream more. I want to do longer streams, later in the night streams, because again, a lot of you YouTube people can't even watch the stream because I stream too early. Where in the new house, I'll be able to stream later. So that's going to be really useful for that. And, you know, while the world is still in a bit of craziness, and yes, here in the UK, things are kind of loosening in what we can do. July the 4th, a lot of things open back up completely, kinda. I'm still not really going to go do that. You know, friends will be welcome to my house, but I doubt I'll be going out that much. So I'll be working a lot. I'll be streaming a lot. You know, if literally I'm like, I'm not doing anything right now, what am I going to do? Go live, start the stream. So yeah, feel free to check out the stream, which is twitch.tv/HuzzyGames. And if it's not obvious, this Q&A is the last Q&A in this setup. So this is obviously the setup that I've been using for the past few years. And yeah, honestly, again, if I didn't mention anything, I doubt many people would probably be able to tell. The only difference you'll probably see is this area here is mainly going to change. So obviously in the newer setup, there's not a blue blind, and there's not really, well, there will be a wall, but there's going to be more display stuff in the background, potentially. I don't know how I'm going to have it and how the camera is going to be. I do have the office pretty much set up, but obviously I don't have the computer set up there. That's happening tomorrow. But you'll probably just have more display stuff in the background, but other than that, it's going to look very similar. I also have a green screen. If I wanted to use that, I can. But yeah, again, if I didn't mention anything, I doubt it, like a lot of people would really notice, because in these Q&As, obviously there should be league footage on at the moment. And when I am doing a live commentary, 99% of the time when people are watching my videos, they're watching the league gameplay. They're not really watching me. So yeah, but it's going to be good, I think. And, you know, I'm still, just to say, I'm really close to my family. I'm still going to be at the family house a decent amount. The new house is, it's not really close, but it's also not really far away. So, again, as someone that doesn't drive to work, I obviously work from home. Driving to my family house to kind of go bob in and say hello a couple times a week and stuff, that's not going to be a pain because I don't leave the house anyway for work. So it'll be good. It'll be good. And I'm sure they'll be open minded and everything like that. So, yeah. Anyway, Q&A that we're doing today. Worth mentioning, I'm prioritizing the YouTube members. So again, below the video, there should be a join button in most countries. If you wanted to join, support what I do, you can do that. They do have, if this video is being uploaded still in July, which I think June, sorry. They have extended the free membership program for YouTube Premium in certain countries. So if you've got YouTube Premium, the ad viewing YouTube experience, you may have a free YouTube membership. If you want to throw it my way, that's amazing. If you want to support what I do in general, feel free to throw a membership. That's awesome, especially if you do use ad block or something like that. It would be awesome if you did, but no pressure. Let's get into it though. So I'm prioritizing their questions, and then after that we'll go over to the Discord server where I've asked for people to throw questions at me. First one is from Joshua, and I will give shout outs to each individual. I will say it's not a guarantee as a YouTube member your question will get answered, but I will always see the question basically. Joshua says, really do love your content, so thank you. My question, what skills do I think transfer well from game genre to game genre, e.g. MMO to MOBA, MOBA to FPS, and which skills habits actually make transitioning harder? I doubt things make anything harder when it comes to being good at a video game, but what skills do I think translates well? To be honest, most. If you're like, I've got the philosophy, if you're good at a video game, you'll most likely be good at other video games. And without being whatevers, I'm quite good at video games in general. You know, being in the top... Again, if we want to get technical, I know I'm a pleb playing League, but technically I'm within the top 1% of League of Legends. I've been within the couple thousand on EU West out of millions of players. If I jump on a different game, I usually pick it up very fast. It's for a couple of reasons, I believe. Firstly, if you've managed to get that good at a video game, you've got the mentality to get good at anything, you know, especially within video games. Because a lot of video games, sure, are mechanics, which I'll get onto in a second, but it's knowledge. It's how you're gaining that knowledge. It's looking things up. It's paying attention to getting good. And that's something that can translate from game to game. Secondly, is mechanics. If you're, you know, League of Legends, if you're a great League player, you're most likely going to need good reaction time. Well, good reaction time is good for video games in general, so that's obviously going to translate as well. And then controls. I think especially with keyboard and mouse, if you're good with keyboard and mouse, especially as a good League player, League of Legends is a very quick keyboard and mouse game, so if you go over to something like an FPS game, honestly, I think FPS games are probably easier than a MOBA to be good at. I play Call of Duty in my spare time, and I'm pretty good at that game, and I've got hardly any time in it. League is a lot harder. You know, I don't think many people will challenge that, to be honest, because, yeah, MOBAs are known in general to be one of the hardest games to be good at. But, yeah, I honestly think a lot of skill in video games does translate from each other, you know, especially when it comes to being good mentality. It's something that I think a lot of people underestimate of, like, how do I get high rating in League? You've got to have the mental to do it. You've got to be prepared to actually look at what you're doing wrong and improve on it. That is something that does translate from game to game because it's the same mentality. Next up is... this is a funny questions, actually. So Chadders actually says... I actually found my channel and me from the EU LCS stream back in the day where somebody held up the sign in the background, Huzzy sucks. You did a Google search and you found me and then ended up liking my videos. What is the story behind that sign, basically? So if I've got the image, I'll try to remember to put it up on the screen now. And yes, that is a real image. It wasn't photoshopped or anything. The story behind that sign is that those two were actually mods of mine, stream Twitch mods called Bunny and Badger. They're not around anymore because, you know, people move on and stuff, which is completely fine. But they went to the EU LCS, and as a joke, being my Twitch mods, they made a sign. Now, that sign, and potentially how big I make that image on the screen, it was like a trick sign. So, yes, it had Huzzy is bad or something, like, as the big text on it. But there was small text in between Huzzy is bad. It was something on the lines from memory, and again, this is years ago. Huzzy, it's like HuzzyGames is educational, and if you're bad at League, he can help you get better. It was something like, hang on, let me just quickly, I think I'll be able to find that somewhere. I think it's a command on my stream that may bring up the imager. I can't find it right now, but basically, yeah, it was a joke sign from two of my mods, and it got onto EU LCS. Apparently, they only got it up there for like a couple of seconds before literally people were like, take that sign down. But yeah, that is the story of that. So yeah, good memory though. Next up, and final one from the YouTube members at the moment is... well, actually, we'll do two more from YouTube members, and this is from Jojo. Do I think League will ever go back to early game champions being relevant? In essence, you know... For a while, early game champions have been struggling because the reason why they're struggling is because the player base overall has got much better. When League of Legends was a newer game, the community was not very good at the game. And, you know, even in higher ratings, people didn't yet understand, oh, if I just play passive against this Pantheon or Renekton or whatever the early game champion may be, I will outscale them. When the game was new in the first couple of years, people didn't understand just to wait it out. They just fought all the time, and when champions are designed to get better or do stronger things in the early game, they did well and snowballed. Well, over the years, the game has got... It's older, and with an older game comes a more knowledgeable player base. And that, by the way, is every rating in the game, whether it be Iron all the way up to Challenger, everybody has got better. Like, hell, if you take the average player right now, which is Silver, let's say, 5 years ago, they would probably... The average player now would probably be Platinum 5 years ago in terms of equivalency. It's a much... The game gets harder as it gets older because the player base gets better. So with a better and more knowledgeable player base, comes the knowledge of, I'm just going to wait. Why would I risk fighting a Pantheon in the early game with Ignite? I outscale you. I'm just going to wait. That's hard to ever fix. Like, it's something that is very hard to fix. Riot cannot do anything about people playing passive against early game champions. The only thing Riot could generally do is give them basically a stupidly overpowered rune or buff in the early game that would make it near impossible for them not to snowball the early game, which they're never going to do. So that's why the early game champions have been generally phasing out, is because the player base as a whole has got smarter to it. That's hard to counter. And then finally, the last YouTube member question for this week, and then we'll go over to the Discord server, is from Mark. Basically, in essence, he linked a video and said he came to the channel from this video. It was a live commentary, and I was being incredibly educational, like explaining everything I've been was doing in the game. He's basically saying, am I ever going to go back to that, or like, why is that gone away? The answer is yes, that will come back. Full disclosure of why that went away, I was struggling with a couple of areas, if I'm honest, and maybe for the past year or two, I haven't been that educational, is because, yeah, it's hard to do that content all the time. You have to be very switched on in terms of gameplay and, you know, educational all the time. And I just wanted just to kind of chill a little bit, if that makes sense. And especially, if you notice, like the last couple of months, I've been really focusing on, at least I think I have, having fun, doing fun content. The Duo series is a great example of that. Even though it is serious and we're now in like Diamond 2, Diamond 3 MMR, it's more fun. And the League and Chill series has made a little bit of a comeback, and the Iron to Master series is a very chilled out climbing series, and the main account has taken a little bit of a sidestep. It's all on purpose because I've been, you know, with what's going on in the world, I've been going through that too. And the difference is I'm in a public job, so I've just wanted to make sure that I can keep uploading these 2 videos a day and I don't get burnt out. So that is the primary reason. But things are returning more to normal, which is nice. I am moving out, which will give me a healthier relationship between work and life. You know, my bed right now is right here. In the new place, obviously, I'll have a separate office to a separate bedroom. That might not seem like a big deal to a lot of people, but it's going to probably be very healthy for me. When I close that office door, when I'm done, I can be like, I'm not a YouTuber now. I've switched off. With my current life, there is no switch off. So I think the last couple of years I have been a little bit like wired, if that makes sense. I'm doing a lot better now, you know, even getting myself in really good shape and stuff. That's helped a lot in that area too. But yes, the educational stuff will return. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. Like, what I'm thinking is obviously the League and Chill series at the moment is a very casual, fun, leveling series. That will continue. But I think with me doing more and longer streams with moving out, we will do more leveling of that account. That is just on stream. That's not for YouTube videos, to get that account to level 30. Now, I know some people have issues with Smurfs and stuff like that, but it's good content to make for people that want to get better at League. And I understand that, yeah, there are negatives to Smurfs, trust me, I do. But as you know, I'm not adding to the problem of buying accounts. I level my own accounts and all that type of thing. I don't make fun of people, you know, we just climb. What I'm thinking is when that account, the EU Northeast leveling account, is level 30, I'm going to make that series a serious educational series on a different server. So it's kind of combining 2 things that I think people have wanted for a while. Huz, I want you to play on another server off EU West and see what the difference is. Does it feel any different? People have really wanted me to do that. So we'll do that with EU Northeast. And secondly, Huz, can we get educational, what are you doing, and all that, and uploading every game again. So I am leaning towards the EU Northeast series, unless it's a 15-minute stomp, like loss or people rage quit. I think I will upload basically every game I play on that series again, like we used to a couple years ago. So that might be that. Education mode, all that might be the EU Northeast account. And maybe that's a month or 2 away. So there we go. Now let's go over to the Discord server, where we've got a lot of questions, I think. So we'll try and do a little bit of skim read, and then obviously we'll go for it. First up is, would I like to see more Void champions in League? I'm indifferent to anything. I know this might sound bad to some people, but I really don't care what they give us. I know some people really care. Like, there's been like a whole thing that, oh, Riot, stop, giving us all cutesy champions. Again, sometimes I'll have an opinion about it, but if I'm completely honest, I really don't care. Give me all Versailles, whatever the hell. Give me all Noxus. Give me all Demand. I literally don't care what they are. I care more about gameplay more than anything else. So not really something that I care about too much. Next one is, what are my opinion about Valorant? Well, here's the weird thing. Is when the game got, like, the idea of it, I was, like, really hyped for it. I played the beta quite a lot, and I was pretty good. The game came out, and I experienced a lot of cheaters in the early game. And some people will be like, really? Like, I doubt that. Well, it was very evident, and when I'm part of the League partner program, and there were several other partners posting links of people cheating in that game, I just decided, you know what? I'm just gonna chill. I'm not gonna go nuts into, playing the game when there's obviously a bit of a cheating problem right now. So I just thought I'd wait. I went back on it today, and I didn't enjoy it. So I hadn't played for over 2 weeks. I played a game, and I genuinely, and I thought maybe I'm just in a bit of a weird mood. Maybe I'm in a bit of a low energy mood. I was bored playing the game, and then I jumped on Call of Duty right after, and suddenly my energy level picked up, and I was having fun. So I don't know if it's just a temporary little blip at the moment, but yeah, I didn't really enjoy it. I don't know why. Like, by theory, I'd like it. I like CS:GO. I just don't know. I don't know. Like, it's a good game. I'm maybe bored with it right now. So I don't know. A question that we've been getting a lot of recently is, am I going to play The Last of Us 2? No, probably not. The main reason is I never played Last of Us 1. I think I might have played maybe about 20 minutes and I got bored. And I know some people go, what? I know it's like considered one of the best games ever, Last of Us 1, but it's just not one that I ever got into. And that means Last of Us 2 has no interest for me. So no, probably not. Next up is what position do I think in League is the most fun? On a day-to-day random game, blah, 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 I probably would say mid lane is the most fun because it gives you a lot of options. You can 1v1 your lane opponent and beat them. You can carry a game as a mid laner. You're one of the main carries. That means sometimes your team will protect you. You can roam. You can go aggressive, defensive. You can farm. There's a lot in mid, and there's a lot of variety in mid, and I think variety does help with fun. Also with mid, yes, blind picking isn't amazing, but it's definitely one of the most forgiving lanes to blind pick in because you're just picking a ranged mage most of the time. Top lane is the worst place to blind pick in. So yeah, I think overall probably mid is the most fun to play in general League of Legends. What item would I remove if I could? Honestly, maybe slightly controversial, Death's Dance. I do not think that item is healthy for the game. Next up is favorite champ to play in LoL. I don't have an individual. I've never had an individual champ. I have champions that I'm currently in the mood to play, and that changes all the time. I do get bored of things quick. And worth noting, Huzz, is that just League? No, like video games in general. Like I've played Call of Duty now for the past 2-3 months in my spare time here or there. I'm actually impressed I'm still playing it. I normally move on quite quick. So it must mean that I do like that game a lot. But in terms of League of Legends, yeah, like there are some staple ones that I'll always jump back on occasionally, like Lee Sin, for example. But I haven't played Lee in ages, obviously. But no, I just jump around. Like, in the end of the day, I like League as a video game, and I find enjoyment in diversity, in how much I can play to a certain level. That's what I enjoy. Other people will be like, how high can they get with one champion? That's not for me. If that's for you, awesome. But yeah. All right, next up is how do I feel about champions that are rarely buffed / nerfed? You mean some can be called balanced? Well, that's the dream, obviously, is champions that don't get buffed or nerfed often because they are in a state of balance. That is the dream. Are there any champions that are truly balanced? There's probably a couple out there that are okay, but it's very rare for a champion to be truly balanced, if I'm honest. Like, I think Orianna is definitely one of the closest. She's always in a state of okay, and that's the thing, okay. She can be useful in most comps, and it's not much to, like, buff or nerf her. Like, she's just okay. But yeah, obviously they're saying, you know, why would people play those champions, or would they not play those champions? Again, generally the meta goes with what's strong, not what's average. So that's why these balanced champions go under the radar, because they're under the radar. People want to play the strong stuff. Next up is should Riot focus more on reworks and revitalizing existing champions instead of continuing to release new ones? Definitely. I've said that myself in the past. But the reason why Riot will continuously launch new champions, and, you know, one, it makes the game... What's the right word? It revitalizes the game more because it's a brand new thing. Secondly, financially, a brand new champion will make more money than a reworked old champion because people already own the reworked old champion. So no one's buying it with Riot points or whatever. No one's buying the new skins because they might already own the new skins, and you're putting time into reworking these skins that already exist. A new champion comes new purchases for both the champion and the skins. So for a free-to-play game, that is why new champions are a continuous thing. And, you know, Riot recently said, oh, we're doing 6 new champions a year. That's a lot. When we already have like 140-something champions, that's a lot. So I'm a bit worried about that. Next one is, what advice do I have from someone who only plays ranked duo in Iron? Have fun in the end of the day. Like, without whatever's, Iron obviously is the lowest tier rank. So if you're only playing duo and you're in Iron, just play for fun. If you can climb, awesome. But at that type of level and stuff, honestly, fun is the primary thing I would go for. Find a maybe one champion, or find a pool of champions that you love playing, continue playing them, get better at them, and you'll probably find yourself climbing anyway. And yeah, just have fun. If you're not having fun playing ranked anyway, no matter what rating you are, you should question why you're playing it. I think so many people, like today on stream, I only recorded one League video. I think we had one game that the enemy AD carry bought Moby boots, sold all his items, and started running it down. It's like, why is he playing the game? You know, clearly you're not enjoying it if you're going to do that. I think a lot of people should... I know it sounds bad from a League YouTuber, like, you know, some of my audience, I'm literally telling you, are you having fun in League? Because if you're not, maybe it's not worth it. That's dumb for me to say because I want you guys to still play League, therefore still watch my videos, but I also care about you guys. I genuinely do. And if League is making you a bit oof and a bit sad, have a break at least, but also question, is League even for me? But have fun. That should be the primary thing in all of us playing League, is fun. It's a video game after all. All right, next couple is AD carry as a role really as weak as many people feel it is? No. No, it's not. What changes do I feel Riot could make to help marksmen feel better? Yeah, it's not as weak as some people say. The problem that people are coming into is the design of the role. In essence, is you're a squishy, hyper carry range champion that scales into late game, that is basically as weak as a baby in the early game. That you need your you know, the support needs to hold your hand until you grow up to be big and strong. And even when you're big and strong, you need people to protect you. In a solo queue world where there's not like teamwork, it's going to be hard as an AD carry for your team to always protect you. So if you miss position or they do a wrong engage, you might be dead. That's the role of AD carry. It always has been. It hasn't changed. Season 1. There have been several seasons in League that there's like, okay, AD carry is the strongest role in the game right now. And the complaints that AD carries have right now are the same complaints, even though when it was unanimously the strongest role in the game. It's always the same. That's it. So obviously a lot of people know I'm a lot more open to people duoing than I ever have been, because Season 10 is a bit oof. And with duoing with Vixie is really opened me up. Like, this is fun. Like, it genuinely is. If you're doing it with somebody that, like, yes, Vixie has insane carry performances, but we both have peaked at the same rating. We've both been Master on EU West. I play different anyway. Even when I'm playing solo, I never have a crazy pop-off performances. I am what I would call at the moment anyway, a background carry player. I'll do a lot of things in the background that help us win, but it's probably not too noticeable because someone on my team may have 18 kills and I've got 4. But I do background things all the time. I lost my track of thought then. God damn it. But basically, what was I saying is... I can't remember. That happens. Unfortunately, I do these live unscripted. So yeah, whatever I was saying moments ago, what that. I don't even know what just happened. I legit just lost my track of thought. Because I just read another question and started thinking about that one. My bad. Anyway, moving on, I guess. If I had the chance to be on the Riot Balance team, would I go for that job? No. So obviously I've had to think about my future as a content creator. I'm moving out and I'm going to be financially independent and I'm a YouTuber streamer, right? And I love what I do and I hope it doesn't change for a few years at least. Hopefully you guys aren't fed up of me. And I would like to grow the YouTube channel more and get more views. So if you guys can do anything to help that, share with a friend, like the videos more, please do. I'd like the channel to continue growing and stuff. But I obviously have had to think about my future because if you guys know, the general plan was to become a pilot. Well, with what's happened in the world in 2020, a lot, and I mean a lot of pilots have been unfortunately laid off. And when things get back to more normality, like here again in the UK, July the 6th, you're allowed to go on holiday here in the UK. And people, I think, are allowed to come over here on holiday. So the airlines will start kind of ramping up again. And I'm sure these pilots who have been laid off will be the first people to be rehired. Well, with how many pilots have been laid off, I doubt they're going to be training new pilots for at least a couple of years. At least. So my plan, if I'm completely honest with everybody, was I'm going to be a content creator for maybe 2 more years from, like, let's say now. And I'll go then to become a pilot. My plans, I'd say, have been, if I can, pushed back another 2 years. So I am hoping, if you guys allow it, I will be a content creator on YouTube and Twitch, hopefully, for another 4 odd years. Which, you know, why 4 years? In my mind, I've said, but in 4 years' time, things obviously in the world would have fully recovered. Airlines will be completely back to normal, and they'll be training for pilots again. But then I'll be 30 years old. So I'm literally about to turn 26 in a week. But in 4 years' time, I'm 30 years old. I was a YouTuber for 10 years of my life. Time to move on to the next chapter. Let's go do my life career as a pilot. I think that's more reasonable. But obviously, I've been doing YouTube full time. Worth noting, everybody, for 4 years. May 2016 is when I decided to become a full-time YouTuber streamer. It's when I finished university. And if you guys didn't know, I turned down 2 jobs after university. I was offered 2 jobs and I turned them down to do this. And I'm very happy I did. And all I'm basically in my mind, if I can do it for another 4 years, amazing, cool, awesome. And I'll never forget this. And trust me, I'm not going to disappear. And I don't want maybe, again, reminding people, we've got another 4 years, so don't get sad or anything. But I'm not going to disappear. I'm sure I'll still be a bit social, like on social media, on the accounts. And I might still upload every now and then. But again, the reason why I have to say this, and we will get onto the actual question about this in a second, is I'm not under the, I'm not a millionaire from being a YouTube streamer. Like, full disclosure, I'm not. So I do have to be worried about the rest of my life. Unless something insane happens over the next 4 years and my channel blows up, which I doubt, I do have to worry about that stuff. Yes, I've got a degree. I've got that in my back pocket, so I can go get a job off my degree. But a lot of companies, would they consider this? And I think it's a lot of work that I do, but a lot of companies, especially old school companies, may not think being a YouTube streamer is an actual job experience. Where being a pilot, I don't need any experience. You just pay to go become a pilot. You can do certain courses that will guarantee you a job in certain, airlines. But anyway, this massive lead up is, if I don't want to become a pilot in 4 years' time, the other option that I've been considering and being like, is maybe trying to get a job at Riot. So, would I want to be on the Riot Balance team? The answer is probably no. The team at Riot I'd probably really want to work for is the community department. So the community department is the people that talks to you, the players. It's the people that collect the feedback, and they basically are the bridge between Riot and the player base. I'd love to do that and do events at Riot, put on events, deal with the content creators and stuff. That basically, there's a community manager now. She's relatively new. She's been at the job 3 weeks here in the UK. I'd like her job. I'm not saying I don't want to take her job, but in 4 years' time, that's the type of thing that I want to maybe do, at Riot. I love League of Legends as a video game. I'm very passionate about the game. I'm heavily involved in it, and I have been for years. How cool would that be? So if I didn't become a pilot, I could go work at Riot. And obviously, financially, it would be better to go become a pilot, but not everything's about money. Life enjoyment is also pretty important too. So maybe I'd want to work at Riot, but obviously there's no guarantee. I do have a degree in computer science game design, so that is a benefit to work in a game company. I do understand a few things with game design, but yeah. So if there's a Rioter watching this, especially from the UK office or LA office, I wouldn't maybe mind moving. Maybe just have it up in your mind that Huzzy may want a job in the next few years after being a content creator, possibly. Next up, though, we'll do a couple more, and then that'll be that video. And reminding people, this is the last Q&A with this background. It's going to disappear. Swain in mid. Is he good? He's not great. I think he's better in support than mid lane right now, and that's probably why you're not really seeing Swain at the moment in mid. He just kind of gets outclassed by some stuff, and I've always said, like, why play Pyke mid when you can just play Pyke support? It's kind of the same with Swain at the moment. Why play Swain mid when you can kind of just play him support? It sounds crazy, I know, but it's kind of true. And final, let's do 2 more. Would you prefer more punishments for bad behavior or more rewards for good? More rewards for good, probably. I don't mind bad punishments for bad, but more good. There's basically none. We've got the honor system that gives you a Twitch and a Warwick skin. Woo, Twitch and Warwick. How many of us actually play Twitch and Warwick actively? Hardly any of us. So yeah, more rewards for good. That would be nice. And then finally is, do I think the tutorial for League of Legends should be expanded more? Yes, definitely. It's better than it ever used to be. I remember making a new account and I was like, what is this? This is crazy. But there are several things that I think they should do differently. For example, unlock all the runes straight away and all the summoner spells straight away. It's so weird when you're leveling an account and you see level 25 accounts not taking flash because they don't know it exists, or they weren't taught about it, or the game didn't unlock it straight away. So they're like, I'm going to stay with Ghost. I'm used to Ghost. Second one is locked camera. Do not start the game on a new account with locked camera, because then so many people only play locked camera. They don't know about unlocked camera. And then they kind of like, oh, I'm used to this now. I can't get used to unlocked camera. So those are 2 things. But yeah, the tutorial should be better. Maybe what they should do is, I'm not saying get a better content creator than me. Maybe they should hire a really good guide maker content creator to do a proper series about, how to play League, like the basics. And then, don't have that content creator upload it on their channel. Just hire that content creator and then have that linked on the client for a new player to learn. That would be kind of cool. But that's going to be the Q&A, everybody. Thank you so much for supporting what I do. It means a lot. And looking forward to this next crazy chapter. And hopefully you guys will, come with me on the ride. Finally, worth noting, when things do return to normal, there have been several people that have sent me wonderful message recently about, like, I've helped them, especially with lockdown, and my content has just been there always, which I'm so happy to hear that a lot of people have liked that, and I've kept it up 24/7, 2 videos a day and all that. But a lot of people said, they'd like to meet and, like, just whatever. I want to meet a lot of you guys. So worth noting, when things get back to normal, I will be going to events. So the first big one that I might go to when things are back to normal, and I will say this might not be in 2020. I just wanted to announce it. TwitchCon, the next TwitchCon EU, I definitely will be going. Next TwitchCon, or I think they call it TwitchCon London, I'll be going. It's lashing down outside in rain. But I'll be going to these events. Insomnia's in the NEC in Birmingham. I'll be going to those like I normally do. Comic-Cons in London. Trust me, like, I want to go to a lot of these events. 2020 for me was like wanting to go to all these events. And obviously, we all know what happened to that. So, wanted to just mention that. If you're going to go to these events, what I will say is, don't go to these events just to meet me. If you're going to them anyway, I'll be there. So, probably. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the Q&A. If you did, throw a like on the video, throw a subscribe. It means a lot. I will say at the moment, 44% of my audience, something like that, who are actively watching my videos are not subscribers. So if that's you, subscribe. Or if you're watching my videos and you don't have a YouTube account, please do make one to subscribe. It does help out. And remember to ding the bell. But I'll see you guys next time. Peace.